Chapter 5, Measurement. In 5.1, we're looking at U.S. customer units and of measurements. Okay, so we start with length. Now the common length we know is things like inch, feet, okay, yards, miles. Okay, so here's some example, right? The length of a piece of paper is 8.5 by 11 inches. The height of individual usually measured in feet and inches. Okay, so now again, the football field, it's right, you have like we measure in yards, okay, and sometimes when we run, we go some kind of distance, traveling somewhere, we're talking about miles. Okay, and now here's some frequent conversions that we know that 12 inches equal to 1 foot, 3 feet is 1 yard, and not so common, not everybody know that, is 5,280 feet equal to 1 mile. All right, so we need to learn how to convert between these units. For example, if you have, let's look at first example A. If you have 9 feet, you want to change to inches. Now we're going to use what we learned from previous chapters. We're using the canceling the units by multiplying. So whatever you want to convert, like this 9 feet here, you put 9 feet. Make sure you have the units out over 1. Then we look at the relationship between feet and inches, then we know from here 12 inches equal to 1 foot. So again, from previous chapters, if we have a foot here, we want to get rid of it, we need a foot on the bottom. So that's why we put 12 inches on top, 1 foot on the bottom, not the other way around, because we're trying to get rid of the foot, 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. This way you cancel out. So once you cancel out, the only thing left is inches, and that's what we want. So 9 times 12, 108 inches. Part B, same thing. If we want to go from yards to feet, so 7 yards over 1, and then the relationship is 3 feet equal to 1 yard. We do the same thing. We cancel it out. You end up with feet on top. And the part C here is yard. It's a feet to miles. So we have the 12,356 feet over 1 times every mile is 5,280 feet. Now in this case, you have a number 12,356 times 1 on top. That's what you have. On the bottom, you have 5,280. So in the end, you have to divide. Use your calculator. Divide 12,356 by 5,280. You get approximately 2.34 miles. Okay. Now, last but not least, sometimes we want to do more than one conversions. We want to go yard to miles. So we can't go yard to mile directly. So we have to change from yard to feet first, and then feet to miles. So get rid of yards first. So we have yard, and then yard to feet is 3 feet equal to 1 yard. So this way, yard on top, yard on bottom, they will cancel each other out. Now, once we get to here, we have the feet left. We want to get rid of the feet. We want to change the feet to miles. So every mile is 5,280 feet. So this way, you have the 1 yards on top, 1 yard on the bottom, 1 feet on top, 1 feet on the bottom. This way, all the yards and feet will cancel out. The only thing left is the mile. That's what we desired. So then we multiply all the numbers on top and all the numbers on the bottom. We divide them with the calculator. We get 2.46 miles. So 4,325 yards is equal to 2.46 miles. Now, of course, we can put this into word problems. Application problem: a hardware store has 2 sales on tubing. 3 yards of tubing A is on sale for $5.49. And 2 feet of tubing is sold for $1.88. Right now, we want to know which one is cheaper, right? So, well, one of them is selling in yard, the other one is in feet. So it's up to you. You can change yard to feet, feet to yard, either way. So I decided to change my in tubing A, 3 yards equal to 9 feet. So once everything both in feet, then I just have to take the dollar divided by the number of feet. Then so for tubing A, it's 61 cents per feet, while in tubing B, when you take 188 divided into 2 feet, then the unit price is 0.94. So the cheaper one is tubing A. Now, let's look at weight. Now, the weight we usually look into it will be like what? Like, for example, pound, right? Like quarter-pound hamburger, ounces, okay? And if something really heavy, we use tons. Right? Those are the U.S. System in weighing something, okay, how heavy something is. Now, the usual conversion, again, the relationship between pound and ounces is 1 pound equal to 16 ounces. and the ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. So this is the same type of question. Instead of using instead of length is weight. So if you want to change ounce to pounds, we have 72 ounces over 1 times the relationship is 1 pound equal to 16 ounces. Once again, ounce cancel out, so you get 4.5 pounds. If you want to change from pounds to ton, then you have 6,500 pounds over 1 times 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So once again, pound cancels out. The only thing left is the tons. And C is where you have to do multiple conversions. We want to go from tons to ounces. So we have the tons over 1, then times every ton is 2,000 pounds, and 1 pound is 16 ounces. And if you line it out correctly, you have 1 ton on top, 1 ton on the bottom, pounds on top, pound on the bottom. This way everything cancels out. Only thing left with the ounces. So here's the application question. The post office charged 44 cents to mail an item that weighs an ounce or less. The charge for each additional ounce or fraction of an ounce of the weight is 17 cents. At this rate, how much it will cost to mail a package that weighs 2 pounds and 3 ounces? Now, the first thing we need to figure out is how much, well, since everything is all the prices in ounces, so the 2 pounds and 3 ounces, we need to change it to ounce. So every pound is 16 ounces, so 2 pounds will be 16 times 2, and plus the 3 ounces. So 2 pounds and 3 ounces is now 35 ounces. Now, the first ounce is 44 cents. Then you're left with the 34 leftover ounce, and each additional ounce after the first ounce is 17 cents. So we take 34 ounce times 17 cents equal to 578. If we add up 44 cents plus 578, the total package will cost $6.22 to mail out. Last but not least, capacity. Capacity is something like if you have a liquid, you try to hold how much liquid can something hold. For example, a cup of flour, we use cup, right? 12-ounce cup. A pint of beer, a quart of milk, gallons of gas. Pretty much everything liquid, right? Okay. And here's some conversions. 1 cup equal to 8 ounces. 1 pint is 2 cups. 1 quart is equal to 2 pints, and 1 gallon equal to 4 quarts. Okay, so here's something for you to reference to. All right, and when we do conversion, it's really the same thing. If you want to do ounces to cups, you take what you want to convert, 72 ounces over 1 times every cup is 8 ounces. Just make sure the ounces line up, 1 on top, 1 on bottom, and we have 72 divided by 8, 9 cups. Cups to pints, same idea. 5 cups over 1 times 1 pint equal to 2 cups. Then this way we have 2.5 pints. Quarter to pints is the same idea. 7 quarts over 1, and each quart is 2 pints. So 7 quarts is 14 pints. Gallon to quarts is the same thing. You have 22 gallons, and every gallon is 4 quarts. So 22 gallons of anything is equal to 88 quarts. Now, this last one, we want to jump from ounce to gallons. There's nothing in our reference table up here that go from ounce to gallon, but we have ounce to cup, we have cup to pint, we have pint to quart, and we have quart to gallon. So if you line them up, okay, where all the units will cancel each other out, and you write down all the relationship, like for example, a cup is 8 ounces, a pint is 2 cups, a quart is 2 pints, 1 gallon is 4 quarts. If you line up in this fashion and the only thing left is a gallon, then you multiply everything on top and then everything on the bottom, then you divide in the end, you get 11.55 gallons. All right, that's the only thing left. All right, so here's another example. So we're making lemonade. Okay, she has 2 containers. One holds 1 gallon and the other holds 2 quarts. All right, so how much do we have? Well, again, these are 2 different units. You have a gallon and quarts. Probably want to change them all to the same units. So we know that 1 gallon equal to 4 quarts and plus the 2 quart. So together, she has 6 quarts of lemonade. But how many cups is that? So then the question becomes, how do you change 6 quarts into cups? So 6 quart over 1 times 2 pints equal to 1 quart times 2 cups equal to 1 pint. After you cancel out a quart, cancel out a pint, you end up with 24 cups. In chapter 5.2, now metric unit of measurements. Now, metric system are used pretty much everywhere else other than United States. So we do use it a lot in the, especially international business. So let's take a look. Now, the way the matrix system is a lot simpler in a way where all that you just need to worry about the basic unit. If you talk about length, it's going to be in meters. If you're talking about weight or mass, it's going to be in grams. Volume, like our capacity earlier, is our liter. So meter is how much you measure length. Gram is how much you measure weight. Liter is the capacity for liquids. And from there, we just add a prefix to it. Kilo, hecto, deca. Let's go from the biggest to the smallest. Then we have the deci, centi, and milli. Okay. And the way I kind of like to look at this is if you put your units in the middle, kilo. If kilos on the top is the biggest unit, milli will be something really small. Now, if you go from top unit, say you want to go from kilo to milli, you multiply. If you want to go from milli to kilo, you divide. And then each unit, and you go down, each different measurement, you go down from kilo to hecto, you times 10. If you go down to deca, you times 10. You go down to unit, you times 10. Excuse me, sorry about that. If you go to deci, you multiply 10, and you go to milli, you multiply by 10. Okay, and the same thing going back, you divide. So, for example, if you have 1 kilogram to grams, well, if you see kilo to gram, gram is just a unit. There's no prefix to it. So you have a kilogram to gram. You need to go 1, 2, 3 times down. You have to move three times. Each time is times 10. So in this case, you're gonna times what? 1,000. 10 times 10 times 10. So that's why 1 kilogram is 1,000 gram. Okay. Same thing. 1 centimeter to kilometers. Okay. So centimeter. So centi is right here. And then you want to go to kilometer. So you want to go centi up to kilo. Is it kilo? Yeah, kilo. Okay. So, well, let's see. From centi to deci, divide by 10. Then deci to unit, divide by another 10. Divide by 10 again. Divide by 10 again. Divide by 10 again. So you divide 7 times, basically. So if you take 1, divide by 10 7 times, then that's what you have, 0.000001. Okay, hecto to milli, again, hecto is right here, milli is right here. So how many times you have to move down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so you have to move down 5 times. So, or we can say 10 to the 5th power. So that's why we have 100,000 milliliters. Okay. So these are some more conversions if you have to convert anything in between, but that's just what we talked about earlier. Okay. So again, if you want to go centi to meter, that's what you need go up 2 times or 2 placement. Then you divide by 10 to the 2nd power or divide by 100. Or you can just say divide by 10, divide by 10, either way. Now kilo to meters, you're going down, so you're going to multiply. Kilo is bigger, so we're coming down from the scale that we talked about earlier. From kilo to meter, you have to count down 3 times. So you take 32.5 times 10 to the 3rd power, because you have to go down 3 times, which is 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. So 32.5 times 1,000, that's 1,000 here, is 32,500 meters. Okay, and we can do more than one as well. Okay, so we have micrometers to megameters. This is something that's not, it's not in one of our scale here, right? We don't have micrometers here. We're talking about something really, really tiny now. Then this is where this chart comes in, okay, where we have micrometers right here. So then we use the same idea we do. The idea applied to the U.S. Conversion is the same as how we do it with matrix. So we just look at, okay, micrometers. Well, how's a micrometer compared to 1 meter? And then how is that meter compared to megameter? Then we multiply everything on top, multiply everything on the bottom. We divide each other. You will get the number you need, and that's the megameters. That's how to go from micrometers to megameters. Okay, so last question is about someone has 5,000 milligrams of medicine and we need to make sure it's a 5 gram. Is it the same? Yes, milligram to gram, you have to divide. So in this case, no,